All right, everybody. Well, welcome to Tuesday Night Yoga. I would just like to know how we're feeling. I'm going to unmute you for a second so you can make any requests that you have for this evening's class. What are we in the mood for? Any requests? Any suggestions?
For some
Fine
reason,
with anything.
my left shoulder's bothering me. I don't know why. I'm just mentioning that.
Okay, we
it
can
hurts.
work with that. Anybody else want to put their 2 cents in?
Right shoulder.
Okay, left shoulder, right shoulder. We got it. All right, then why don't we all lie down, get in touch with our breath. Take a moment to transition from the workaday world into the wonderful space of yoga. Let yourself be heavy on the floor. And just check your body out and see what you can let go of. Maybe you find that your left shoulder is lifted and you don't really need to do that, so you can relax it down and let the earth hold it up. Same with the right shoulder. Get in tune with your breath. Let it be. Let it do what it wants to do. You don't need to direct it in any way. And then let's bend our knees and stand our feet. Let the feet be wide, out to the edge of your mat. You can leave your arms by your side. And let your knees drift a little bit to the left. And then exhale, bring them back to the sky. And then go to the right. So you're just going to go back and forth. Breathing within a very small range of motion. Don't go all the way, just a little bit. When there's a hesitation, stop there and turn around. And now, as your knees go to the right, let your nose drift a little to the left and other way. So the knees go to the left, the nose goes right. So it's a sort of a very subtle but wonderful twist here. I'm going in opposite directions with the nose and knees, keeping them steady, synchronizing. And then let that stop. And now bring your feet so that the heels are in line with your sitting bones. Your knees are about a fist width apart. And begin to press into your right foot. Now that's going to lift your pelvis a little bit. But if you pay attention, you can feel it all the way up to the shoulder. So as you lift, press into the right foot, lift hip, you'll feel the left shoulder get a little heavier. The outline of the shoulder blade will be clearer on the floor. So just keep pressing. And now let's try the other side. So you're going to press into the left foot. That's going to lift the left hip a little bit, taking the weight over onto the right shoulder. And what's happening here? What are you noticing here? Just pressing using gravity. And now let's alternate. So first press into your right foot, right knee goes forward, press into your left foot, left knee goes forward, and just shift back and forth, rolling over your low back. And then let everything go. Now bring your arms a little bit closer to your torso and begin to lift your right shoulder a little bit away from the floor and then let it come home. Do that. It's nice to synchronize with the breath, lifting the shoulder a little bit without straining or stressing. And you'll notice, if you're not pinioning your head, that as you lift your right shoulder, your head rolls a little bit to the left. So let that happen. You're just gonna lift the left shoulder, let it roll. It's a nothing movement, it's a wonderful movement. Notice how the arm is also turning by itself because you're lifting, but it's just a gentle little thing. It's not big. It's not full range of motion. It's just small and beautiful. Okay, let that go. And now lift your left shoulder up, let it come home. Gently breathing. And now, can you feel how when you lift the left shoulder, the head just naturally rolls a little bit right? Gently. Let that go. And let's lift the right shoulder, head rolls left. Lift the left shoulder, head rolls right. It's easy. It's like you're swaying in a hammock. You're not holding anything. Gravity is your friend. You're just flowing along the floor here. Breathing at your own pace. Listening to your inner teacher first, always. Okay, then let that go. And now with your feet where they are, just try the movement of letting the knees drift and the nose drift and see, is that so much easier now? Is it freer? Because we took the time just to do little things to prepare. Good. And then lift your arms gently and place your hands on the opposite elbow. And very gently, just sort of inhale. And as you inhale, let the arms come up towards your nose anywhere. Could be an inch, 2 inches, wherever is easy. Inhaling, feel the movement of the shoulder blades against the floor as you do this. Inhaling. You can grow the movement if it gets easier, but don't try to grow it if it's not easy. If there's any kind of restriction, just stay below that. Stay where it's really juicy and easy. That could be a millimeter. And that's your pose tonight. Okay, then elbows up above the chest. Take them a little bit right, a little bit left. You can actually pull a little bit with the opposite hand. It's very easy. And then circle up and back and down and around. And feel that wonderful massage you're getting from our friend the floor, the mat on your shoulder blades. And then turn around, go the other way, circling up and down and around. Good, and then let your arms nestle, let your legs be long, and see now how you're making contact with the floor. Maybe the floor is somehow easier or more friendly for you. And then bend your knees and stand your feet again. And we'll do a little bit of something for the abdominal core. Very simply, just draw the contents of your belly up under your ribs. So you're going to squeeze your navel to your spine and draw everything up. This is a deceptively powerful way of strengthening your abdominal muscles without engaging your neck. I know a lot of people get very strained if they try to do something holding themselves up. So this is a nice variation. You're just squeezing a little bit the contents of the abdomen. Feel the tail lifting, breathing. Good. And then lift your tail and release it. And this in and of itself is a baby bridge. So you don't have to go up into a full bridge if you don't want to. If you want to, you can lift a little bit the tail and the sacrum off the floor, and then go up to another higher bone until finally you're up and you're flattening and pushing through the front of your hip. But it's enough to just lift the tail. You don't have to do the whole thing. Any part of the pose that's comfortable for you and easy for you is the full pose. And you'll find that if you really take advantage of the small, wonderful stuff, it grows because your body's saying, oh, this doesn't hurt. It's not going to hurt me. I can do a little bit more. How about that? All right, then. So that's enough of that. Lengthen the legs. Now, if it's comfortable and you can do this, you can hold your elbows over your head. If not, leave your arms to the side or out where you can do this easily, and just walk your feet. We're going to do a half moon. So walk your feet inch by inch to the right. Bring your right arm down. Look with your nose towards your baby toe. And then wherever, if you can bring your arm overhead and rest it on the floor, that's beautiful. If that's not easy for you, leave it wherever you can, because the main thing will still happen, which is the length in the trunk here. So just stay there and breathe happily. Just take some nice full breaths. Enjoy this length in your side. Enter of a peaceful state of mind as you go along. And then let's come back. And we'll take these little baby inchworm steps to the left arm down, nose in the direction of the baby left toe, and then sliding so that there's a length here. And you'll just be like a half moon. And then come back, 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 back. And now, if you can reach arms, you can lengthen opposite arm and leg, or you can keep your arms to the side. Whichever is the best for you tonight, do that. Very good. And then let's roll to the belly and do some cobra. So for this, you'll keep your forehead on the mat, hands by your sides, inhaling up, back of the neck is very long. Exhale down. Make sure you're not hyperextending your neck by looking up like this. Keep your focus on the mat. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Everybody looks lovely. Very beautiful work. Good. Okay, and then let's do crocodile pose. So for that, you put one forearm on top of the other. Rest your forehead on your forearm. The legs are comfortably wide. The heels are dropping in. And now you just relax in the pose. This is a wonderful relaxation pose when you feel like you need to calm down. And just feel the breath. It's going in and out of the belly. And while it's doing that, it's expanding your back, ribs, and lungs in a wonderful way. This is a wonderful restorative pose anytime you need some comfort or calmness. It confers a feeling of safety. All right, then bring your legs parallel. Bring your arms parallel overhead if you can. If not, keep them the elbows below the shoulders, and you can do it this way. We'll do some backward walking. So lift the opposite arm and leg, keeping the forehead and the hips very important on the mat. This is not about lifting your leg high. It's only about lifting your leg an inch or two off the ground. And we're strengthening our back muscles here. So keep going. Do about 20. Very good. Then come to Superman. You can let your arms float. Again, the back of the neck is very long to protect all the nerves and veins back there and keep the beautiful posture. You can interlace your fingers if that's comfortable for you, or you can just let your arms float. The length of time you spend in this pose is completely up to you. Don't be a hero. Just do what is comfortable and come down whenever you want. You can rest in crocodile or just however you want. Take a breath or two as you receive the pose. Okay, now let's come to elbows and knees with the thumbs up to protect our wrists. You can also be on your knuckles if that's completely comfortable for you. But this is probably the safest way, especially if you've got repetitive strain injury. So we're going to do a little pelvic tilt, or if you're capable, you can do cat curl here. Exhaling, draw the stomach in as you curl and lengthen. And I can demonstrate both ways. Rounding the spine, lengthening the spine in a comfortable way. Good, then separate your knees, bring your toes together and come into a child's pose. You can rest your head however is comfortable. I'm going to do a variation this evening for myself that's different. This is to protect my vision so that my head is higher than my heart. I'm still getting plenty of benefit. I can also use a block to keep my head high. And relax. Breathe. Be. Nothing to do, nowhere to be other than here, right now. At peace with yourself. Or with yourself however you are. All right, everybody. So come out of that pose and let's do equestrian pose. Beautiful pose. So if it's okay for you to be on your knees momentarily, just bring one foot forward. If this pose isn't comfortable for you, do your own. Figure it out. And I'm going to rest my chest on my thigh. So my armpit is sort of above my knee here. There's not much weight in my hands. I'm just balancing here. And as I go back, I'm feeling a length in my hamstring. As I go forward, I'm feeling length in the opposite hip. So just steer yourself back and forth. And let's try the other foot here. So keep the knee and the heel, all the bones are aligned. This is very important in yoga. Keep your bones in line with one another. The knee is over the ankle, the knee is in front of the hip, and you're just going back and forth, lengthening the hamstring, lengthening the hip as you come forward, hamstring as you go backward. Obviously, if this pose isn't right for you, skip it and do whatever appears to you in your own self. And then let's come to standing, please. Okay, so now if your balance is feeling iffy, find a wall. Can you see me okay? I think this is okay. Okay. And let's just stand in mountain pose for a minute. So it's a good pose. Just maybe close your eyes so that you can sense inwardly how you are. So is there more weight on your left foot? Is your right foot turned out? Do you feel like one shoulder is forward? Just take a moment to check out how you feel, and then let's talk ourselves through this wonderful pose and see if we can find it. So you can press into your right foot, feel how that shifts you a little to the right, and then press into your left foot and find out which one is more stable for you, and see if the stable side can teach the side that isn't so stable what to do. It's kind of like a buddy system here. Okay. And find your center so that you feel like you're balanced reasonably well on both feet. And then shift your weight a little bit forward and then over the heels and a little bit forward until you find that perfect spot where you're ready to go, but also grounded, ready to move in any direction. And then begin to gather your abdominal muscles so that your tail is long in the back and the abdominal muscles are holding firmly in the front. And then let's roll the shoulders in and roll them back gently. Breathing. And then let's do a shoulder roll. So we're squeezing the shoulders back together, rolling around. And then let the shoulders settle so that the shoulder blades are firm against the back and they're nice. The collarbone is nice and wide and open. You feel that sense of power. Oh, here I am, heart open, shoulders open without being military. So it's a balance. Now let's figure out the head. So draw the chin back without lifting it or lowering it. Better to be slightly lower than high. And just bring the head back as though you had a beak on the back of your head and you're pecking into a tree or something. Good. And then find center there. So now it's plumb. You're here. The chakras are all lined up. The crown chakra, all of the ones inside are lined up. Your bones are lined up and you're just standing in this beautiful mountain pose, feeling strong like a mountain. Steady. Good. Now from here, you've got a solid base. This is a good place to begin to do things like tree pose. If your balance is off, we haven't had class for a little bit, go to your friend the wall. Stand in mountain pose at the wall and we'll do it there. So you can shift your weight onto your left foot And then wherever you can be here lifting your toes. This is tree pose. The toes on the ground is tree pose. The toes above the ankle is tree pose. The toes on the calf is tree pose. The knee or the crotch, almost. And then just stay there. Now here we've got so many beautiful mudras we could be doing. This is Anjali Mudra. You can do that. You can grow it up. As you're doing this, again, remember to keep the belly snug to the the spine. Keep breathing. And then you can slide out of the pose. We'll do the other side. So get your weight. You can shift from side to side until you feel steady on the other side. And then again, this is a different side. Maybe you want to stay here for this go round. Maybe you want to be here. Maybe you're going to just take your time and see, well, where am I tonight? Haven't done this for a while. Maybe I should stay here. So here I am. Again, I'm feeling the breadth of my shoulders open. I'm in this beautiful mudra. You can learn a lot from trees. I love doing tree pose actually in front of a tree whenever I can. It's sort of inspiring to see a real tree doing tree pose. And grow the pose if you wish or not. It's up to you. Inner teacher speaks. And then come out of that pose. And tonight I want to show you a variation of our pigeon pose that we usually do on our back, that we usually call pretzel. So if you're feeling well balanced, you can just cross your ankle over your knee, keep the foot flat, and sit. If you're not feeling well balanced, again, friend the wall. Stand a little bit away from the wall. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. The foot is flat as though you're standing up. And then just bend your left knee and come to this thing. You will feel length in this thigh. You can also do this seated in a chair. It's very powerful, more powerful than probably any other way because you're using gravity. And breathe, any mudra. Let's try the other side. Crossing. Breathing, relaxing, being with yourself in a safe place. And then come out. All right. Time flies. We need to do some other things on the mat. So let's go back to our mat. Now I'm going to do this part seated. So here you can use your friend the wall. Putting the soles of the feet together and then just relaxing the thighs open. I have my hands in an upward mudra. I love this mudra because you can feel the prana just coming into your palms. It's wonderful. And now, for those of you who want to use your strap with the lengthening of the hamstrings, you can do that. I'm going to do something different for my vision, just so that I'm protecting everything. So I'm sitting tall and I'm leaning from my low back, and I'm just leaning a little bit forward until I feel a length in my hamstring. I am not grabbing and pulling. I'm just leaning a little bit and letting the breath do the rest. As you keep breathing, you'll notice that, oh my goodness, here I am. Look how the hamstring is releasing here. Oh, anywhere along this line, as long as the spine is really straight and has that maintain the curve, is your pose. A little taller, Jeanette. Yes, beautiful. Now hinge forward from the hip. Yes. Okay, let's try the other side. Lengthen. Inhale. Hinge forward slightly. It's nothing. It's easy. And breathe. Oh, as you relax with the long spine, everything just kind of lets go. Just keep breathing. Lovely, lovely. All right, so let's come out of that and do half bow pose. So you'll be lying on your belly for this. Resting your forehead on your left forearm. Now here you can warm up a little bit by just lazily drawing the heel toward the buttocks, and then eventually catch the right ankle. If you can't reach, you can use a strap, you can hold on to your pant leg, or just press your hip into the mat. It's the same effect, so don't worry if it's not comfortable to reach the ankle. Don't strain. Don't hurt your knee in the effort. Don't effort at all. Just do what's really easy, and your body will come along. If you do a little bit, you're doing yourself a world of good. If you do too much, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't, you could be out and uncomfortable. Other side. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to lie on our right side and do some wonderful arm circles. So those of you with shoulder problems, put your fingertips on your shoulder and just circle the elbow wherever it's easy. Backwards. So you're going up and back and down and around. But if your shoulders don't bother you, you can do a big circle within the range of motion that's comfortable for you this evening. So use your judgment. What's the pose for you tonight? What's right for you? right now. One or two more slow inhaling up. Feel how deep that breath is. And then put both of your hands together. Knees are on top of each other. And then just slide open into a beautiful twist. Find your comfort and stay there and relax. Breathe. Find the place where you can actually rest in the pose. The floor is doing all the work here. You don't have to do anything but breathe. And you don't even have to think about that. It happens by itself. So let it. Let it. Okay, close it up. And let's do the other side. So knees are bent. Remember, if your shoulder bothers you, you have this option. But even like a dime-sized circle is fine. Whatever is easy for you. If you have the ability and the wish, you can do the big clock, backward, up and back and down and around. We do it backward to open up. We're already doing so much forward. This is a way of counteracting driving, computer, all the stuff that we do in front of us. Nice and slow, mindfully. No forcing, just what's really easy and pleasurable. First rule of yoga is ahimsa. That means do no harm, cause no pain. All right, palms together. Slide open into that gorgeous twist and breathe. Okay, come back home. And now is time for Savasana. So get your bolster. If you put your knees over a bolster, get a blanket if you tend to be chilly. It's not good to be cold in Savasana. Make yourself completely comfortable. Get in contact with the floor and your breath. And we'll just do a little inner sound practice. So you can do a little bit of Bhramari breathing. If you feel like plugging your fingers into your ears, you can do that. And just hum or om 3 times. Mm. And let that go. And listen carefully to any echo of the sound that comes to you. Maybe the sound of a bee, or the whoosh of traffic, or waves on a sea. Become attuned to the sounds in your environment. What can you hear? If your head were lying on a big clock, what sound would you hear at 12 noon or midnight? 11 o'clock, what do you hear? 10 o'clock. Nine o'clock. 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 6 o'clock. 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock. 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 1 o'clock. And back up to 12. Om. 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 Gradually remember where you are. Begin small movements of fingers and toes, maybe rolling your head a little bit. And then transition to a fetal position on your right side for a moment, receiving the benefits of Savasana. And then in your own timing, please come to sit. Just breathe in and out a little bit, letting your mind settle. And then on an inhalation, let your arms float up somewhere. Gather peace and prana and whatever else you need into your heart. And let's all take a deep breath of gratitude for yoga. And thank you all so much for coming this evening.